What's going on, guys? Sam Adams here, and welcome to The Drop. And this week, as far as video game releases go, we have the first piece of Fallout 4 DLC coming to us from Bethesda. We have a pretty interesting looking arcade racing game that I really was kind of shocked at whenever I was looking at the trailer for. We have the remastering of a cult classic on the PlayStation 4, Vita, and PC. And last but not least, we have the final episode of a pretty interesting stealth adventure game on the PlayStation 4 and PC. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So first off, we have Republic Remastered coming to the PC and the PlayStation 4, though that is a little bit misleading. It's not really a remastered game, more so than a collection of the 5 episodes that all add up to be the game called Republic. So now that that's out of the way, it's a pretty interesting looking game. So it's developed by professionals that worked on Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots, Halo 4, Fear, Black and White 2, and SOCOM. So these are some pretty notable franchises, so needless to say, these guys pretty much know what they're doing. Now, like I said, it is split up into 5 episodes, and with Republic Remastered, you are going to be getting all 5 of those episodes, but what do you do within the game itself? So pretty much you guide Hope, a woman within a state ruled by a totalitarian dictatorship, through the campaign by hacking into cameras and letting her know where the danger is, as well as finding good hiding places and pretty much guiding her through the level so that she doesn't get shot. Now, I really enjoy this kind of game because of the way that you pretty much play it. Instead of you being the one that is directly in danger, you know, if you screw up, you yourself are not going to be affected by it whatsoever. There's not really a death kind of feeling within the game. However, you are directly responsible for Hope herself as she kind of makes her way through all these puzzle levels. So that is the kind of game that I enjoy, because although your actions aren't necessarily affecting your own life, they're still affecting the life of another person, and at the same time, that is just some fun stuff to be able to control a security camera and identify some things in your surroundings. So if that kind of gameplay sounds like something you might be interested in, the stealth adventure puzzle kind of game, then you might want to pick up Republic Remastered on the PC or PlayStation 4 this week, or perhaps if you have the other 4 episodes and you were waiting on that final 5th one to be released, the time is this week. Next up, we have Day of the Tentacle Remastered coming to the PlayStation 4, PlayStation Vita, and PC, and this is a classic puzzle adventure game that was originally released in 1993 by LucasArts. So needless to say, this is a game that kind of stretches back. I mean, that's a full 23 years since this game was originally on store shelves. Now, there are a couple of ways that companies normally do remasterings of older games, but this one is definitely done right because the entire game is hand-drawn. Every screen has been drawn by hand, and in addition to that, the audio of the game has been remastered on both the soundtrack level as well as the sound effects level. So instead of just having the music remastered and the standard sound effects, you've pretty much got new audio all the way across the board, combined with those impressive hand-drawn visuals. Now, whenever we're talking about remasterings, there is a feature within a couple of remasters where you can switch back and forth between the old version of the game and the new version of the game, and that feature is present in Day of the Tentacle Remastered. However, the guys over at Double Fine went a step further, and you can now customize what is remastered. For instance, if you wanted to play the game that you remember in your childhood with the exact same graphics, you could play the original version of Day of the Tentacle. However, you could have remastered audio if you were an audiophile and you wanted that better quality music and better quality sound effects. So it just depends on how you want to play the game, but it's awesome to see that the guys over at Double Fine took into consideration that not everyone wants to play a completely remastered version of a cult classic. This is definitely a game that is great for fans of Tim Schafer and the guys over at Double Fine who played the original game back in the day, or perhaps it's great for those that want an interesting kind of a puzzle adventure game. They might want to test this one out, see what the fuss was all about back in 1993, but either way, the game is coming out this week on the PlayStation 4, PlayStation Vita, and PC, and I do hear that Double Fine plays a close attention to that PlayStation Vita version, so you might want to check that one out if you happen to be a Vita owner. Next up, the mysterious Mechanist has unleashed a horde of evil robots into the Commonwealth, including the devious Robo-Brain. Hunt them down and harvest their parts to build and mod your own custom robot companions in Fallout 4's Automatron DLC that is coming out this week. So now this is pretty great if you were getting sick of, say, Dogmeat or one of the other companions within Fallout 4. You can literally build your own robot companion within this DLC, and that's a pretty cool feature to have. Now, it does sport over 100 mods for your robots, varying from limbs to weaponry, and in addition to that, you can even choose the paint style and voices of the robot, so you pretty much have full customization over the kind of companion that you want to have. So if you were sick of having these same old companions wandering around and following you around the Commonwealth, you now have a fully customizable companion if you do choose to buy this $10, that is US currency, DLC for Fallout 4 that is coming out this Tuesday. Finally, last but not least, we have Trackmania Turbo coming to the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC, and this was actually originally meant to be an arcade game because it is fast-paced, it is action-packed, and it does give players plenty of opportunities to perform those stunts that the Trackmania franchise is pretty famous for. Now, there are plenty of tracks to play on. In fact, there are 200 of them spread across 4 different regions, so you're never really going to get bored with any of the tracks. However, let's say you do learn all of those tracks and you want to try something new. There is a full-featured track editor, so you can pretty much build your own tracks depending on what you want, or if you play with a group of friends, you could literally sit down and develop an entire track based around your interest and how you like to play the game. Now, let's say you aren't the most creative, person in the world, and you still want to use that track editor. There is a random button, so if those 200 tracks within the game weren't enough for you and you wanted to try something completely new, completely harebrained and just brainy, it will literally build you a completely random track, and I thought that was a pretty cool feature to include within the game. Now, one thing that really struck me as impressive was the audio within this game, because it does have a dynamic soundscape for a soundtrack. So for instance, if you're going down a really steep hill and you're gaining speed and acceleration, then the music will speed up, become more intense, get your blood pumping a little bit, and then say you level out, the music will kind of chill out. So as you are going around the track, the music is changing with the gameplay, and that's something that really adds to the immersion of a game. Shockingly enough, from a guy that's not really interested in racing arcade games, this one actually struck my fancy whenever I was watching the trailer, and it's definitely a consideration for being picked up later in the year whenever it's on sale on Steam or perhaps on the PlayStation Store. I wouldn't personally pay full price for it, but it certainly looks interesting and it does look beautiful when you do check out the trailer. So there you guys have it. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, drop me a like down below and comment what games you are going to be picking up this week. And if you did enjoy the video, please share it with your friends so that more people can find my channel. And if you're new here, you might want to take a couple of minutes to check out some of my other content. But as for right now, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for watching this particular video. I'll talk to you soon. Peace, and have a great week.